Serious face.
Are we recording?
Oh yeah, we've been recording for.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
What?
What?
Don't get the reference.
You don't get the what? You guys fucking burn in hell. You don't get the Anchorman reference.
The arsonist.
I haven't seen it yet.
The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. I don't.
Right.
Really? It is.
All right, go.
When did he say that?
I'm giving you gold here, and you're getting confused.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan?
He was denied a bank loan. That is for sure.
Oh, okay. It was his vocal. I gotcha. Yeah,
I'm working my vocal range.
I have no range. I don't need to work it.
I'm ready.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Brote GP podcast. This one's going to be pretty simple today, where we're just talking about Mugello, but thankfully, we've got Dennis back in the recording. Dennis, say hello again.
I didn't really want to come back.
Oh, god damn. Come on. At least, express some interest in recording with us, because we know you don't visit Barf anymore.
Just on a leave. I'm not. You guys make it sound so kind of what's the word? Like a negative connotation to it. I'm just on leave. I've been really busy. That's all. But I have been looking forward to doing this episode.
Wait, you're really busy. I'm super busy with my non-kids and non-wife and doing whatever I want whenever I want.
Well, Kevin, you got a lot of cats.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That's true. That's a lot of cat hair to be, brushing off.
You have no idea.
Cats. I have no cats. But so Dennis, you've been busy, and we've replaced you at least a little bit.
Yes.
So how do you feel that Everett did last weekend?
He sounds just as exciting as I do.
That's a compliment.
Yeah. I thought that he. Well, I don't know how much edited it was, but he really sounded like he knew what he was talking about, and when he would talk, I actually wanted to listen.
Well, good. Yeah, I didn't check the viewership, but I hope that we did pretty good on that one. I'm sure the lack of
No, with the viewership, what I noticed is that whenever we put up a Rossi thumbnail, those are the really most viewed kind of episodes that we have.
Really?
Right, because he's fucking Rossi.
Yeah, I swear to God, we have 2 episodes where they're not even videos. I just used kind of like a custom thumbnail for the YouTube, and they're both Rossi. And if you check it out, they're the 2 highest viewed episodes in our website.
So wait, so you put up Johnny Ray for the last one. Was that one of our lowest?
Yeah. It's average.
It was average? All right, so Rossi's good. What about the
I think right now our average episode doesn't even crack 100 views.
So we had one with Scott Redding. How did that one do?
That's one of their.
This is all pre-podcast talk. This is all getting edited out.
All right, whatever. Okay, moving on.
Start over.
So we were obsessing over Rossi. Should we start there?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we should.
Let's do
Rossi and Mugello.
Rossi
Mugello. Sure, why not?
So finally we had Rossi on the podium based on merit at Mugello. How long have we been waiting?
Wasn't he on the podium last year?
No, not based on merit. He walked up there.
He wasn't on the podium.
Sorry. No, he was on the podium last year. He was third again last year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I'm being retarded. Now I'm gonna have to edit.
Yes, you are.
All right.
Yes.
Let's start over.
Okay, are we starting the recording over?
Maybe not the whole thing. I'm gonna use some of the intro part about Dennis talking about Everett, and then we'll
because he was legit third last year in a string of 4 straight podiums.
Yeah, and I can't seem that stupid as the technical guy on the podcast.
You're right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's drunk.
And no, this is beer number 4. So
nice.
Yeah, and someone brought out some Jack Daniel's cinnamon fire something, and it's gross. Don't drink it.
It's 10:30 and we haven't talked about the race yet.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right. So
Dennis, you picked a bad time to give him the reins when he's straight drunk.
All right. Well, let me ask this, Kevin. He finished second, right?
Rossi?
Yeah. No, third.
Oh, Rossi. You guys are insane. Start this whole thing over. I'm dead serious. You guys are crazy.
My question is this: did you think Rossi was going to do better?
I was expecting a podium shot. A win, I thought. I mean, I really, really wanted him to win, but I really think we saw the fact, again, Ducati went full cheater style with a motor so powerful on Dovi's bike, it shredded his sprocket.
Did you catch a picture of that? Did you find one?
Did I find an actual picture? No, I just read it on media.
Yeah, because how that, like, they said there was a sprocket problem, and I feel like it was stemming from the fact that he dumped the bike in warm up on like the first lap.
Dude, that like 320 horsepower one-off motor shredded that shit.
But these guys, they're like meticulous. They like fucking inspect everything. They know how to actually measure a sprocket for wear. How the hell did that happen?
I think it just, I'm not sure.
All right, we'll go with 320 horsepower. That's it. Done.
Yes, that's my answer.
Yep. But so
and what you think Rossi had no chance over the cheater Ducati engine for the Mugello?
No chance? No, I just thought that there's a lot against him, and a solid podium was all I was. I mean, a win had been sweet. I'd have freaked out, but just maintaining his run of podiums was what I was looking for. It's like we did say last podcast, although you weren't there, so you wouldn't know, but it's not actually his best track. I mean, he hasn't won there since 2009. So it's not like he's on a big run of winning there still. He does better at Qatar and than he does there at this point on the Yamaha. It was just, it's kind of a hopeful thing. I think Ducati, they test there. They were just there. They had the setup. You knew they were breaking all the guns. The idea that he was going to beat Lorenzo and both Ducatis was, I don't know. It's the whole thing with practice like we talked about. He doesn't qualify high enough that when Lorenzo's on Lorenzo form, he's got to get higher. He can catch Dovi, he can catch Marquez because their style of riding went out the front, but when Lorenzo gets out there, he's just such a metronome that it's really hard for someone like Rossi's style to catch through the field.
Yeah, with practice and with Dovi crashing in the morning, I figured that Rossi was going to get second. I was actually not expecting the third place. Like there was no way that I was going to put Iannone on the podium in front of Rossi. Like maybe a distant third given the issues that Honda's been having, but I would not have put Iannone in front of Rossi. So it was pretty exciting to see actually. Like, he had to come through the field like normal, like some pretty cool battles there, and then there was that hint of catching Iannone, and it was just like, come on, like get up there, make a better race. And he got close, but just not there. But yeah,
do you guys think that Rossi will ever sort out his qualifying problem? Do you think he'll ever finally get around to actually qualifying pretty well?
He started to do it last year, and towards the end of the year, he was queuing a lot better. This year, down a little bit. I think we talked about this. Now he knows who the rival is. Marquez, barring a pretty miraculous thing, is not really in the title hunt for at least the next third of the races. He knows who he's got to go for, and he knows the strategy he needs to now get, which is to start to work his way to the front a little better. Dovi's probably out of it because the consistency was why he was in it. He wasn't really winning races. And with Marquez and the problems with Hondas, I don't think now it's just Lorenzo he's got to hunt. So I think he may start to focus more on making sure that Q pace is a lot better than it was.
I mean, honestly, I don't think that he's going to be able to do it because he really just even at the time when he was by far the best rider on the grid and he was winning, hand over fist race after race, like he doesn't have that many pole positions. Like he has almost three times as many podiums as he has poles, and Like like I'm gonna look up, what does Jorge have? Let's see. What's your guess? Do you think Jorge's considerably closer for poles versus podiums?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Jorge is a little over two times. He's got 31 poles and 88 podiums, and Rossi has where'd it go? 46 poles and 143 podiums.
Of course, he has 46.
And that's only in GP, right? Like that's not including 500, 250, and 125. So yeah, Rossi's just a step behind everyone.
He just needs to more consistently start on the second row. And he's actually said that before, that, the second row is an acceptable place to qualify. Third row, not so good. Second row needs to be his target and go. I mean, realistically, with Ducati still having access to a softer tire, being able to beat all those guys regularly might be more difficult, but as long as he can stay on the second row and be in the front group by the end of the first or second lap, what's happening is letting Jorge get away is the problem.
Yeah. I mean, and he's just losing so much time at the beginning of the race that it's just
right, because he was running the fastest laps at the end of the race.
Yeah.
And he is able to run similar times to Lorenzo in a very similar manner, to pound out the laps. It's just you can't make up those few seconds that you lose, when you're trying to pass people constantly.
The cool thing about Mugello, or I mean, cool for us, was that 8th place was only 4/10 back from the top time. When he qualified in 8th at Qatar, it was 7.5 tenths. It was 3/4 of a second. Like the field was unbelievably tight there. Like I was actually, when this time started like tumbling down and people started going faster and faster, I thought Rossi was going to be like in 10th or 11th or further back. Like I was happy that he made it into Q2 because I thought it was going to be worse.
Speaking of Q, who called Marquez in Q1?
You totally did.
You guys totally act like I was a moron too.
Well,
you're like, oh, he's going to set the fastest time in FP2. It'll be fine. What do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, but the way that it happened was just so, like, it was completely unexpected. It's never happened that way before. Like, because
it was not completely unexpected because I fucking said it a week ahead of time.
Yes, you did. So you were the only one on the planet to expect it to happen. But how the hell? Like, he crashed.
Yeah, well, Einstein was the only person on the planet that thought E equaled MC squared too. He wasn't wrong.
Oh my God, Kevin just compared himself to Einstein. It's over. That's it. No more. That's it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
That was, Kevin, I'll give you this. It was freaking brilliant that you called it. The circumstances weren't exactly the same because he didn't crash in FP3, right? He crashed in FP4.
Right.
But I shouldn't.
It was those damn satellite Ducatis. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, seriously, right? Yeah, Yanni put in a damn good lap to pull in front of him. You know what I'm sad about? I'm always sad.
Marquez was fucking heated too, dude. He was like the fucking one of the Spanish guys at the press conference later actually had to say like, can we see you smile and be fun again? Like, you know what I mean? Like his little Spanish imp thing he had going on, dancing around and shit, all smiles is all good when you got the best bike on the grid, but suddenly when shit's not so good, you're throwing shit around, you're yelling and throwing your hat on the ground.
Yeah, they made such a big deal about him throwing his hat on the ground. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, so what? You think Honda's got enough woes that it's going to happen again? I mean, there's no way, if he makes it into Q2, there's no way that he's going to not go out for a second time, like, ever again, because we already know that Marquez doesn't make the same.
And see, this is the other thing about Marquez. Things are starting to backfire. Like a true Greek hero from a tragedy, his greatest strengths are now becoming his weakness.
Wow, literary.
So dramatic.
Damn.
Right. Exactly.
How long have you been waiting to pull that one out?
Marquez's story was penned by Euripides himself. Right about it, like suddenly his most potent weapon, his ability to fucking just haul ass into the corner at an unbelievable pace and ride the bike seemingly out of control is now his folly. And his team's like scheming, which, I'm always for scheming, don't get me wrong. But now suddenly their scheming is biting him in the ass again with their, like, why he didn't go out right away and pound out a fast lap and have it ready. Like, they fucked up. They legitimately fucked his schedule up because of his hubris.
Wait. You're always for Ducati scheming. You're never for HRC scheming.
No, because HRC doesn't scheme. They fucking go by the spirit of the rules.
Yeah.
If they schemed, I'd be into it. They don't normally do that. It's not, Ducati doesn't scheme either. They cheat. They straight up cheat.
Yeah, they pretty much cheated. They produced a motor with more torque. They tested at the track right before the race. They had everything in line to win that freaking race except for Dovey Sprocket.
What do you mean, Lorenzo?
And they can't control Lorenzo, but you're right. The only thing they didn't do Lorenzo was take a crowbar to his kneecaps.
Right. I still think they should have hired Petrucci to just fucking take him out.
I mean,
nobody even got close to be able to do anything like that. Oh, you mean like prior to the race?
Like
in warm up,
like Bautista him in the race,
Right.
Because Petrucci was on like the fifth row. He probably could have done it.
Oh, wait, just real quickly on a tangent.
Speaking of Bautista, Mr.
Wait. First, Danilo Petrucci. I want to make mention that I watched the press conference before the Mugello run. I think that guy's a personality. He's funny.
Oh yeah.
So I'm all.
Dude,
he's goofy as fuck looking too, dude.
He's not Tito goofy looking.
No, Tito's ugly, not goofy. Tito's like fucking Frankenstein on the grid.
Oh man.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that about Petrucci. What were you going to say about Bautista, Kev?
Oh, that we were talking, about the kind of last podcast about kind of Aprilia's continued march forward and displacing the production bike. He beat all the production bikes, and he was able to score points yet again at a track that most people thought that they would get murdered at.
I mean, but we've said before that Mugello's not like a high horsepower track, and it seems that the Aprilia chassis is like kind of coming along as long as your name is not Marco Melandri. So
who's fucking not even going to be there anymore.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, so who's going to get the other ride? Like, we shouldn't lose a bike on the grid, right? We need another one.
No, they're not going to lose a bike on the grid. There's someone will take that bike. It wouldn't surprise me if they moved Angelis over and then slot someone in the Iota team.
So it's going to be a Moto2 rider, or you think they'll like call it?
No, I think they're going to move someone from. I think someone's going to jump from World Superbike. To be perfectly honest, wouldn't surprise me if Canepa, who just got bounced from the sweet hero squad to he's on a third tier satellite bike. If they say, hey man, we're come ride this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's got previous GB experience. That could work out.
And he's available. I don't think anyone from Moto2 because I think those guys make a decent living in Moto2. That's why guys like Simone Corsi haven't moved up to ride a shitty bike. They do all right down there, and those teams are cheap to run.
No, I
Calio didn't want to go back.
No, because the word on the street is that only like 4 or 5 guys actually get paid in Moto2. So
you mean the word on the tarmac?
Yeah, sorry, word on the tarmac. Yeah, so it's like what? Tito, maybe Baby Marquez, which I'm still gonna keep saying until you pick it up.
Toothy Marquez.
Toothy Marquez. Calio, Luti, and that's it. Maybe Rins because he's fresh. Like
Rins is there.
It's crappy because I feel like the guys that did good in Moto3 and moved up to Moto2 are paying more than the guys that like got 4th in the Moto2.
You know who else?
Last year.
Jefferson Davis.
Yes. Jefferson Davis.
But like they're not the top, like half the top 10 in Moto2 is not getting paid.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
They're getting paid out by their personal sponsors, right? So they're probably still taking home like, a normal wage, but they're not getting paid by their team, and they're not getting paid by a factory because one doesn't exist for Moto 2. So it's not like, it's not like they're taking home like $500,000 a year, like hopefully the mid-pack riders in GP. So what's stopping them from moving up to either the satellite ride for Aprilia on the Iota bike, or the factory ride for Aprilia?
I don't agree with your take that other than 4 guys aren't making money. I think that's actually completely wrong. It's the back end of GP that's not making money, and the top 10 or 15 in Moto 2 are getting paid. Remember, it only costs about 250, 300 grand for those Moto 2 teams. Like, that's a cheap thrill. Moto Matters has gone over this a bunch. Those guys are getting paid. It's the back end guys of MotoGP that are barely getting paid or only getting paid by sponsors.
Yeah, or getting funded by by governments.
Yeah, exactly. Or in Moto3's case, by people straight up laundering money on the number 1 team and no one thinking that's weird.
Do we hear more about?
But again, I mentioned this last time. We had a team that was sponsored by a straight up African warlord. So I guess that's not that weird.
Yeah, do we hear more
Is that the
about
Gibbernaus team?
WM?
Yeah, the Franco Hernando team back in 2008.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that bike was oddly ugly in my opinion, like black and gold with like a rainbow stripe down it or something.
Yeah, because it was from Equatorial Guinea. I mean, does anyone else even know where that is other than me? Do more people know where Equatorial Guinea is, or watch World Superbike?
World Superbike.
Does the Equatorial Guinea flag have gold on it?
It's the only Spanish-speaking country in Africa.
Oh, really?
Yup.
I'm not surprised you know that, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Right. For those of you who don't know, listening, I have an affinity for traveling in the continent of Africa.
And that was the last place that you rode a motorcycle.
Yes, it was. Though, in all honesty, I may be purchasing a slightly used but in excellent condition metallic blue SV1000.
Shut up.
No way.
Shut up, Kevin. Dead serious, dude.
Shut up.
Super serial, bro.
Really?
Yup.
What are you gonna do with it?
What do you
Are you
mean, what am I going to do with it?
Are you gonna ride
Hell
it?
of stoppies?
Are you gonna ride it?
Stoppies?
Stop it. That thing will pop wheelies, right?
There's not do shit like that.
Back it in.
Yeah. You gotta come out to a
Okay, wait.
Dennis.
Let's bring it back to MotoGP. This one. Did you guys read Matt Oxley's latest article on Lorenzo and effectively Lorenzo and Marquez?
Wait. I thought you didn't want to take control of the podcast, Dennis. You're doing it again.
Well, he has to. Kevin wants to keep talking MotoGP. I know he does.
So Kevin, did you read Matt Oxley's blog post that he posted this last
I'm
week?
sorry, what'd you say you were?
Who?
Just so you didn't read it then.
Dennis, did you read it? I read it.
The only thing I read about his blog post was that Lorenzo was getting really pissed off about a door not working. And all that made me think was
that's how he started it.
That dude is too high strung. And I think that's true, man. I think Lorenzo's high strung, and when shit's going his way, he's feeling good. But when shit's not going his way, he's not feeling it.
Yeah, but okay, when was that article? What was the time that was being referenced by that article? I feel like it was a couple years ago.
2001.
2001? Like Jorge was what, like 12?
Right. And still faster than me.
Yeah, undoubtedly, for sure. Yeah.
Indubitably.
Yeah, I like how Oxley compared Jorge to Duhan, and it essentially just said Jorge was unable to kind of only produce that sort of focus like on the bike, like, or not produce the focus on the bike, but essentially, Duhan did it just on the bike, and Jorge was that way throughout the paddock and would let it affect him all the time.
Right.
But I don't know, Dennis, you brought it up. What were you gonna ask?
No, I just found it interesting as far as like how it's kind of true how, comparing last season to this season, effectively Lorenzo and Marquez, their seasons are kind of swapped. as far as how it's going so far. And also that, Lorenzo doing good kind of is sort of bad for entertainment,
Kinda.
You hit a nerve with that one.
I say kind of because I'm probably one of the few people that don't mind, but I'm not blind to the fact that I know it's turning off a lot of MotoGP's viewers because it's not as exciting.
Everyone at
No,
Mugello.
we're talking about a guy who knows his only way to win, and he's been trying to perfect this for a couple of years, is to get out in front as fast as possible, pound out the smoothest, cleanest, most perfect laps possible, and just gap people. That's his only way to win. In the past couple seasons now, under the kind of pressure that Rossi and Marquez want to fight with, he's just not into it anymore. That crash when he broke his collarbone and all that stuff, he's just not the same kind of rider.
Oh, it's so boring to hear you talk about it again.
Yes, it is.
Just like the racing. Dennis, didn't
Right.
you listen to the past 2 episodes? We've already talked about this.
About Lorenzo?
Yeah, we've talked about the boringness of the fact that he pulls out in front and just doles
But
the
it's
races
not
up.
as if he only started doing that this year. I mean, he's in my opinion, he's just back to Lorenzo being Lorenzo.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I hope that the next race,
I hope it fucking rains.
but I hope he just gets spanked straight up by an Italian. That's what I want to
Which
see.
one? Which Italian?
Because no one cares when the Italians are dominating.
You mean-
Like 2 Spanish guys get podiums, and it's, oh my god, the Spanish run the whole sport, blah, blah, blah. Italians run rampant all over the podium this year, and everyone thinks it's sweet.
yeah, that's actually pretty much how it's been going.
Right,
Like
because
they-
everyone loves Italy.
The Spaniards haven't dominated anything. Like they're the only category as far as like podiums and wins and all that stuff across all 3 classes that they are actually winning at is GP wins. That's it.
Right.
Everything else, podiums and wins in Moto2 and Moto3, they're behind. Podiums in GP, they're behind. Like the Italians are taking it, and then Moto3 with the Brits as well. That's helping too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, the Italians at Mugello didn't really seem to care that Jorge was on a tear and he was probably going to pull out in front of the race. Like everyone still cheered their asses off at that race.
Yeah, Iannone and Rossi going for it. I mean, people were so jacked to see Iannone on the podium there on the duck. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
getting pole position, being on the podium. He said basically it felt as good as a win.
I liked how we could actually hear the crowd on the feed when Rossi passed
Yeah.
every person to
Yeah.
make it up to Iannone. Like when he passed Danny, like the crowd just cheered. It was ridiculous. And it was like we were all hoping that Rossi was going to make it up there, but I was kind of certain that he was because he always compliments the Yamaha on race pace. Like he starts out a little slow because his team changed something in warm up, and turns out this time what they tried in warm up didn't work at all. So he went back to the setup that they had in qualifying, and it's always like he starts out just a little tentative on the race pace and then pulls through. And unfortunately, I don't know.
Speaking of passing and starting out tentative,
Yeah.
Marquez's first fucking 5 turns was redonkulous.
Did you like how someone on Barf commented that you don't ride a shitty bike like up to like 4th place in the first lap? Like the
Right.
bike.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, no, you ride it like an insane person. That's how you do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like the first corner and the start and the first corner has nothing to do with the quality of the chassis. Like it's essentially cojones, and that's it. And not
Right.
as long as you can pull that off and not pull a Bautista, like you're going to be considered a god among motorcyclists because you did that. And it has nothing to do with your race pace. You could end up finishing like, out of the points, but if you end up like 4th place in a turn 1 because you decided not to brake and you still actually
Made it.
made it, then you'll be good.
Right.
But I don't know. So what, you think Marquez is going to have to pull that again consistently because because he needs to
I
get.
don't know at what point it's someone did say it on Barf too. Like, at what point do you just have to start riding the bike within the limits of its capabilities? I mean, you can override to an extent, and that's fine, or ride around problems. At what point is it this bike's front end is not able to ride at the pace that you want to ride it at? You got to stop crashing and stop near crashing constantly and start bringing it home.
So what you think Marquez will just be fighting with Danny Pedrosa for the whole season? Like,
no, because I think his talent is beyond that. But I'm just talking about, like, when he's on, he wins, like at Coda. But at some point you say, like, hey man, like, you can't, how Danny or like Rossi, right, settled for the podium because he knew he wasn't going to win, but you got to keep going. At some point, Marquez has to know that he doesn't have race-winning pace over the course of an entire race, because you can't take that many chances, that many corners before it gets you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened.
You're not Casey Stoner, bro.
Right. Well, you're not a guy who gets handed a super good bike and then slowly develops it into a poor bike. Oh wait, yes you are.
Well, so we need to nag Marquez into riding like Stoner, because Stoner wouldn't have a problem with no front end feel. He rode the Ducati for years and actually got a few wins every year.
Right, but started crashing more and more, and then and the same thing, came to the Honda, which was already developed, and won on it, but then not the following year, not as good.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if Marquez rode the bike on the rear tire like Stoner did, then he would be crashing less, and he'd at least have a shot at the title this year, probably because of his talent. But because he rides it on the front tire, like, just breaks into the corner and lifts that rear tire up and kicks it out sideways, like, he's not going to have a chance, because the front end of the RC 213V is just crap.
Yeah, right now that he just, I mean, I don't know, I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance even now, because dude does work miracles, but he's way far back against two guys on a bike that's working perfect. I mean, the Yamaha is 5 out of 6 wins, and Rossi on the podium every race. I just don't, he's got at some point got to realize that, when it's not on, you got to bring home the podium.
What if HRC brings him a new chassis and he just tears it up again and doesn't learn anything?
That was gonna be my question. Is you guys don't think that HRC will do something before the season's even over to turn it around?
Oh no, they're gonna try. Whether or not they actually produce results is the question. Because
they're not the magic factory everyone likes to act like they are. This isn't the first time they had a bike that didn't work out and it took them a while to go. When the 800cc switch happened, their bike sucked. And it was Pedrosa's skill at the time that got, and the Michelin's being kind of anchored towards them, that got him a couple wins here and there. But that bike sucked, and just like this year when only one guy won and everyone else crashed a bunch, the same thing happened. And they didn't really turn that thing around until about 2009.
Yeah, I mean, it took them a really long time to get that 800cc bike going, and honestly, it was the same problem they had now. The 800cc's required a ton of front end feel to get through the corners, and the bike had none.
Right.
So I mean, I can't say that HRC doesn't have the expertise to build Marquez a good bike. I just don't know if they've got the luck to do it.
Especially when, to a certain extent, there's a throwaway year aspect that how much, it's just like 2006 when they were kind of already pre-building that 800 for Nicky. At what point did they know they got to build a bike for a completely different style of tire and riding? And, at 69 points to 118, and he's only 1/3 away through the season.
Did I tell you about the rumor I heard about Nicky in that year, that towards the end of the season they were giving him lower capacity engines to kind of test for the following year?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, right. I mean, they threw him under the bus in 2007 anyway by building a bike that was handmade for Pedrosa, and Nicky couldn't ride it at all. But
I don't necessarily think they threw Nicky under the bus as much as they had an open thought that there was a new generation of rider, a new style. They had smaller guys across the board that they were aiming for. Nicky just wasn't in their long-term plan for what they thought the modern rider was going to be.
Yeah, but I mean that's like
And again, they were wrong about that.
yeah.
That's another thing HRC did that they bet and built their thing around. They were wrong. In the end, you can't stick a jockey style person. They tried to make a bike and then find a rider, equation to fit it, as opposed to finding the best rider and then working with them. It took them a long time before they finally went after Stoner, and that was only because Livio Supo moved there.
Actually, that's funny that you bring up like the rider equation. HRC's always done that. They've always said, "We're going to build you the bike. There's nothing wrong with the bike, and if you don't win, it's your fault."
Right.
Right? So, I mean, it's going to be hilarious if they start blaming Marquez for the issues. Like they won't do it.
Hey man, I was saying for days he should have signed to Ducati. There was nothing left to prove at Honda, and go be the guy that resurrects it.
What, you mean this year?
Marquez on Ducati?
Yeah. When he was going to be, he hadn't re-signed because he had a 2-year deal. And the beginning of last year, when he did re-sign, there was some talk that, I'm like, why? You're like 7 wins on the bounce. There's no reason to stay. There's nothing for Marquez at Honda except slowly becoming the bad guy, which he almost did last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you win 2 in a row and you have such a great win percentage, like it's not going to get much better. There's no possible way, especially with, I mean, the rule changes coming up and the whole formula changing and the new tires. Like, it's going to be nuts for his win percentage. Speaking of that, so we have the electronics freeze coming up soon, and HRC's, because of the engine freeze, HRC's the main thing that they'll be working on throughout the year to actually get the bike to work is going to be the electronics. But they can't. It's going to be
but they can't. I think they made a mistake, and because of the style, because of the transitional year, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, it'll be rough. So there is a possibility for them to still work on the electronics. They can sacrifice their input into the spec electronics. So like all the factories that agreed to the freeze, if they do the freeze, they'll be able to provide input and supply software for the spec electronics for next year. And the spec for next year is kind of already agreed upon, but there's still time for input. So if they sacrifice that input, they could continue working on their electronics. But I don't know. I think they're going to get to the point, like I think it's around the beginning of the July when the freeze starts, but they're going to get to the point where they go, well, Marquez can't win the championship, so we might as well just work on next year's stuff.
And there's also talk, and I mean, again, I don't know, I'm not really the technical guy here, I'm just, the entertaining one, but that it's engine related, that that there is a fundamental mechanical nature to the engine that makes it unstable on the entry.
Which
they can't change that. And he's already lost an engine. Don't forget, this guy's already lost an engine.
Did he? Oh, when he pulled up alongside pit road in Q2. Yeah.
Right, he lost that engine. He only has 4. Ducati has more than twice as many engines that Marquez has.
And so they actually didn't sacrifice one at Mugello. They produced one that had more power and is still going to be almost as
completely in rotation.
Yeah, it's totally in rotation. They could pull one out at Indy.
Right, they just need to get some sweet vortex sprockets. Right?
Man. Yeah, right. They're gonna call up a different supplier and see what's up. Don't those
exactly
crazy metal alloy that you can't buy and they're freaking ridiculous?
Unobtainium? The same. That's what they were going to Pandora to get. Sprockets.
Yep, sprockets. Well, I mean, you need sprockets to do those kind of speeds.
You need sprockets to kill blue Indians.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand and I'm the technical guy, I don't understand how engine character can affect corner entry, because if you want the bike to not slow down as much, you tell the electronics to open the butterflies more. If you want the bike to slow down more, you tell the butterflies to close a little bit.
But we know that they upped the power and gave it more revs. I wonder if it's just that, the engine braking characteristics because of the additional revs, because they got scared by Ducati, threw off the balance. By the way, Michele Pirro at Mugello, we got to talk about that.
Oh, your homeboy.
I know my broski.
He's still got mad toe.
He's got more points than Hayden. More points than Hayden.
Oh god damn.
They're tied, man. They're not.
They are tied.
But
he's ahead by view of better finishing.
You just lost us like 10 viewers with that. No, so he's got mad towing skills, or not towing, but mad following skills.
Right. Oh, I'm pretty sure that was all the plan, but.
But I mean, why didn't it'd be awesome if he would have gotten Dovey a slingshot down the front straight. So if they'd reversed it in Q2, so in Q1 he followed Dovey and got into or not in Q1 in FP3 he followed Dovey and got straight into Q2. It would have been awesome if they did the opposite in Q2 and pulled Dovey way up there, right. and just blitzed the lap record.
And again, as the tester gets 8th, only makes me think, give Petrucci and Hernandez the GP15, for the love of God. They already had 4 Ducatis in the top 10 this race. Give those guys a GP15.
Yeah, and I mean, and it would have been, it arguably would have been 5 Ducatis if Dovey had finished, but
right.
Yanni could have been bumped down to 11th. But yeah, they have a third GP15. They must, because Pirro wrote it.
Right.
So why don't they just, because I think Yanni's got the better bike, right? He's got the 14.3. So give
and Petrucci has the lowest or the lowest spec bike.
Yeah,
theoretically.
He's got the same bike as Barbara, just on the factory electronics.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for the day. I wonder if it'll happen after the summer break. That they'll start spreading the love just a little bit more, because Ducati has been so
right, and that'd be Everett Ducky's that's his number one thing, right? He's always complaining about the guys, how fast they are that aren't on the good bikes. You're seeing what Hernandez does on a half decent bike. Give him the real decent bike. I don't know, man. Those guys, Petrucci's fast. I've said he's fast for a couple of years, but I'd love to see them on a full spec GP15.
Yeah, I mean, they finished pretty far back at Mugello. Even compared to Bradley and Pole, they were 20 seconds behind.
Yeah, they were another, a good 15 seconds behind those guys.
Yeah, so I seriously wonder if they could actually battle with the Tech 3 boys if they had the GP15. Because I mean, Dovey, I'm pretty sure race times, Dovey is 17 seconds, but Iannone was 17 seconds faster this race than he was last race. The GP15 is considerably better. The Yamaha was 10 seconds faster, so it's not a huge difference, but it's still, I mean, to make that big of a jump and to make it with the top team, the top bike with Yamaha, it's ridiculous that they've done such a good job. But I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to make enough of a jump for the satellite guys to be up there with Tech 3. They'll probably beat Cal Crutchlow more than half the time, because he's just going to run into front end problems, and they'll definitely beat Scott Redding, and they'll probably challenge Vinales a lot, but that only moves them up 2 spots in the in each race.
Well, Petrucci's only 4 points behind Vinales to begin with.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Petrucci's got 3 top 10s.
Yeah, I'm actually... Oh, that's crazy. Yanni is behind Petrucci.
He's ahead of Hernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Petrucci's ahead of Aleix.
Oh, damn. Dude,
right.
I mean, we've talked about it so many times, but seriously, mid-pack is so freaking competitive these days. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the guys you got to beat to be in the top 10, it's actually pretty wacky. This is such a competitive, and you know what? You're seeing it on the coverage. Back in the 800cc era when there's 13 bikes, you had to watch that boring ass dude go time trials. But this one, they just don't show Lorenzo for 25 minutes at a time, and you see great racing in the backpack.
Yeah, that's true. We saw him for the first 2 or 3 laps, and then we saw him maybe once in the middle, and then at the end. Like for the hey, I'm slowing down a little bit and I'm waving the crowd lap.
Right.
Like that was nuts. And I'm still enjoying the races because of that. Like it's nice to see someone battling through the pack. It's nice to see the freaking bar banging between 6th and 10th. Like the freaking
And even for the second and third spots on the podium, I mean, they're getting somewhat, Rossi is pretty much always on there, and a Ducati is, but there's so much, you're not really sure who's going to be on the podium.
yeah, it's I don't think we've had a race where it's been determined after the first lap who is going to be on the podium. Like something has always changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really helpful for viewership. Like that's freaking awesome. And you know that the director of the feed is kind of getting a hang of this season, like, and not showing the front pack the whole time. Like they've been panning back more, I feel like, than last season.
Now, only if they could get a hang of gagging Nick Harris.
What's your gripe with Nick Harris?
He doesn't know anything. He's worse. He's like worse than Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg from UFC. Like he makes so many mistakes. I want to pull my hair out.
But he stopped saying
he gets the names wrong.
Saying big style, and that's all.
He gets the names wrong. And you know what the other thing he does? He can never, ever, I don't want to say criticize, but he can never, ever critique a writer or what's going on in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's true. He's definitely just wrong on that. There's no other way to put it. He just does not know the right thing to say when he's talking about a writer getting something wrong or
right.
But
he just says wrong names all the time, all the fucking time.
Well, he knows how to say Espargaro though.
Right, he knows how to say it. So what? It doesn't matter if he's talking about Espargaro, but it's Bradley Smith that's on the screen. I mean, he doesn't have to. You know what I mean?
But compared to say they put someone else, say they put you up there.
Yes, they should put me.
Okay, they put you up there. I feel like it would take you the entire this year and next year to produce less mistakes than he does.
Nope.
Throughout all 3 classes.
Nope.
All 3 classes.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
You're gonna get Moto 3 right off the bat.
Right. Dennis Saul, dude, when you put me in front of that mic and people are there, shit was smooth. Dennis saw that audible chocolate firsthand.
Audible chocolate.
There was panties getting thrown left and right. I was breaking it down. Dennis couldn't talk about his up the butt bike. Meanwhile, I'm there going for it. I'm telling you, replace him with me.
All right. So
we should do a special. No, we should do a special podcast episode, like a video episode of a Sunday race. Kevin in front of a MotoGP race, actually commentating on it, and then we'll see. And then we'll air that, and we'll let the viewers decide or the listeners decide whether he actually knows his shit or not.
Dude,
that would be sweet. We can do like PewDiePie.
Dude, let's all do it. Let's commentate on a race. We'll just pick one. We'll tell everyone to start the race at or start our thing at this specific time, so we don't run a fucking Dorna copyright thing, and just run with it. We'll commentate on a race and see how it goes.
And then Dennis will be super into it, and at the last second he'll totally change his mind and bounce.
We're only gonna do it once anyway, so not a lot of commitment.
Yeah, he's got an hour once every 2 weeks. It'll be good. It'll be
right.
Okay.
Exactly.
But all right, where are we going next? What are we talking about after this?
We're heading to Catalunya. Rossi now knows who his rival is, and the guy is on point all while 2008 after someone strings off a series of wins to claw back to contention. It's time to go Laguna on someone. And what better place than where you did it to another guy the last time with 2 of the most amazing passes you'll ever see.
So it's round 2 of Catalunya then.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy.
Wait, 2 of the most amazing passes. What was the first one?
There's that one that's not really a pass, but it's where Lorenzo passed him and Rossi just didn't break. On that front straight. You remember that? Lorenzo totally had the pass on the inside, and then Rossi
And then Rossi went on the outside?
On the outside and kept, and just broke so late. It was like the epitome of see God, then break. Except Rossi saw himself and then broke.
Wait, same exact race as the other pass? Same year?
Yeah,
just that race. That race had like a million crazy passes on those last 2 laps.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the one
probably
on
only
YouTube
remember
that has
the
the
last
Italian
four.
commentator.
The Italian. I don't.
So yeah, watch what he's screaming. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia! It's so good. It's so good.
Okay, wait. So when we commentate, you have to speak something in Italian.
Okay, I had to scream with that stuff.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
Oh shit! I'll talk in Tagalog.
Yes.
I think that'll help with viewership, right? Like I'm sure the Philippines does.
Actually, I can speak a little bit of Spanish because we have some Spanish words in Tagalog, so I can do Spanish.
Yeah, I feel like this whole episode has a very low instance of Dennis saying cool accented things.
We'll figure it out.
I want to talk about Danny Pedrosa. Who, Dennis?
Pedrosa.
There we go.
Ah, nice. Okay, I know you weren't being serious, but you think Pedrosa is going to be able to move forward from here?
No, I think he's on a slow, steady decline.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he's not done. He might even win a race this year. Wouldn't surprise me. He's just him as a contender for titles. Him as a regular frontrunner. It's done. His body's fucking wrecked, dude. He's broke so many things, and it's just moving on. The style's moving on. We've already talked about this, right? Like the whole era of 800 cc's in gentleman racing's done. And, with Lorenzo's kind of the last gasp, Pedrosa was one of the first guys to kind of be, first guys to kind of get passed by.
Well, okay, so who wins first, Dovey or Danny this year?
Right now, I got to think it's Dovey if he's going to win. Danny's he's, injured beyond belief and on a shitty bike.
Is he injured? Because
what?
I mean, is he actually still injured, right? Because he got 4th, and
Anche Lorenzo dietro, Rossi Lorenzo, di nuovo di traverso anche qui. Adesso cominciano a spingere e a fregarsene della vita delle gomme.
That's such a great call. You got to watch that.
Kevin doesn't
sometime.
want to talk about Danny Pedrosa anymore.
No, I do. Keep going. Keep talking about it.
Danny was less than 10 seconds back. He beat all the satellite riders.
Great, he beat all the satellite riders. So fucking what?
Yeah, but I mean, if the guy's injured, we got to put him back there and expect him to get like low top 10s with how competitive the top 10 is these days. But he still got 4th. So is he going to move forward from here? Is he going to finish the next race like 5 seconds back instead of 10? And, is he going to get on
I'm going to have to say that I'm just going to pick that Danny will win before Dovey. How's that?
Well, I mean, tell me why.
Realistically, because Dovey's not a winner in GP.
Ooh, I knew someone.
Well, the fact that the first race back since how many races off, and he's not. I mean, he's almost 10 seconds back at the race winner. It's actually very promising from where I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean, how he.
That wasn't his first race back though. France was his first race back.
Oh, he got you.
Damn. Okay, I stand corrected.
Base.
Well, so, I mean, he rode Qatar.
There, by the way, he was 16th. Oh, dang.
He crashed.
Dang. That's a big jump, though. To go from 16 to placing 4th in the next round.
If he would
10 seconds back.
have crashed, he would have been like 6th. He lost like 40 seconds or something in the crash. I looked it up. But whatever. He rode Qatar with essentially one arm tied behind his back because that arm pump was so gnarly, and he still got 6th place. Like, we talked about that after the race.
I just think that to win is different than getting a top 10 or even a podium. He's got to beat Rossi.
Yeah.
He's got to beat Lorenzo. And he's got to have to tangle with Iannone, who is like, it's only a couple fucking, ticks less crazy than Simoncelli.
And that's why I asked you who was going to win first with him and Dovey, not him and Valet.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just injured. I mean, in the end, I think Pedrosa because what I think is neither of them are going to win.
Are we changing our minds about that? I still think Dovey's going to get a win this year.
Let's see. I don't know. No.
Duck brought a cheetah.
I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about this in the sense that I was thinking that I just think Pedrosa's on a slow decline.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not a contender anymore. He'll have fading glimpses of glory, but it's just kind of done. You know, the riding style, the bikes, the things have passed him by, and it's been aggravated by a career full of injuries. The guy just has never been healthy. And that shit adds up. You can start to get older. It's not he's old, but he's not young. And those broken bones and torn ligaments and all those surgeries, shit adds up, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, he's my age. Shit. He's old for a GP racer. That's terrible.
And again, he's a very small, very lithe guy. It's not like he's a super athlete who comes back from, you know, that many injuries. He's a guy who's a pretty small, frail, you know, unathletic guy in the sense of like physical prowess. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he generally bounces back from injuries slower than the majority of other people. I mean, comparing to even someone like Ducournau, who we know came back ridiculously fast from a pretty bad injury. And I mean, Jorge ran a race 2 days after getting a collarbone plated and finished in a comparable position to what Danny finished in when he came back from this arm pump surgery. So, that's freaking nuts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly decided on I agree with you that his career is on a steady decline, and I don't think no chance of the championship ever again. Maybe hoping for a win, like one win this year, but he's not going to have his standard like 2 wins this year. There's no way. Like HRC,
he didn't have it last year either. He had 1 win last year.
Yeah, HRC is not going to give him the bike to do it, and he's just not going to push that hard if the bike's not there. Like there's no way. And I mean, if it rains again, he'll probably what was it? Aragon last year, right? Where
Aragon.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Thank you, John.
Correct.
Yeah. Where him and Marquez just pulled an idiot moon over and didn't come in soon enough. But I still put Dovey winning first. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens.
Right. I'm just gonna put the mantra out there, just like that book, The Secret. I'm just gonna keep asking for it.
Dude,
give it to me, universe. Give it to me.
Isn't that Oprah's book?
Reference all the time. What? Say that.
I'll reference shit.
Now you're just lying.
Right. No, you know that book, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like...
The universe is talking to us right now. You just gotta listen.
Give us a Dovey win. Give us a Dovey win.
Give us a Dovey win. So many people will watch that race. It'll be worth
You know how many people will watch this race?
100 million.
I think that's a low estimate.
100 million's low?
Yeah, definitely low.
Okay.
I think it might be the most watched thing in Italy ever. Because Rossi never did it, so we'll see in the drive. Well, we got Portugal before the GP round at Catalunya.
Wait, what do we have, Dennis?
I'm probably to say it the same way. Portugal.
Dang, just make it up. Portugale.
That's Portugal in Italian. How would I know that?
Well, you don't speak Portuguese, Dennis? Come on.
I don't know. I probably could if I'm reading it. I mean, I could make it sound authentic, but I don't know what. I don't know what the word.
Yeah, whatever. You look kind of Portuguese. I figured it would. No, I don't know what Portuguese is. Now.
He doesn't look sweaty. What are you talking about?
We don't have a mom this time, so we'll start in on Dennis. Whatever. Is anyone... So, Kevin, I know you're not going to watch the races. I will... Seriously, you can have my feed login for the Superbike races so that you can actually talk about next episode. But Dennis, are you excited?
Well, we haven't decided if we're going to do the next episode strictly after World Superbike in Portugal, so we might just wait till after Catalunya for MotoGP.
You did it then. There was you rolled the tongue.
Yes,
on. Yeah,
he did it a little bit.
Just don't fucking put me on the spot.
But all right, well, what are you looking forward to, Dennis?
What, for this weekend?
Yeah, for Portugal. Anything?
Just a little bit more of Donington between Sykes and Ray. I mean, there was a little bit of that what we've been waiting for all year, but still kind of felt like not long enough and not that much of a mano a mano. So just a little bit more of that, and the fact that they both have won on that track.
Wait, Johnny Ray?
You limey fuck!
Yeah.
Well, so Sykes won the first race last year, and then Ray won one in the wet. I don't know if the first race was in the wet. So do you got a prediction?
Ray is gonna win one at least.
Way to go out on the limb there.
I know. I mean, that's about the only thing you can count on for the season.
I know, it's so terrible. God damn it. Whatever. Okay, so does Ray leave with his points lead extended or decreased?
Oh God.
Yes.
Way to go out on a limb with a question there.
Oh, I know. Hard one, right? Hard one.
Yeah.
Did we figure out how many wins is he? How many races could he sit out and still lead?
4 right now.
Yeah.
So he could
Four
not
races.
attend Portugal, and he could not attend Laguna, and he could still be leading the championship.
Not attend Laguna.
You limey fuck!
Dennis, will you be at Laguna?
Yeah.
You're great
To
American.
watch, and also because
Nation owes you a huge debt.
I'm gonna be in a booth for a little bit as well for an exhibit. So.
Dennis,
What?
Dennis, I need you to hold my umbrella.
Now this monkey can do your job.
Oh God.
Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job!
Right.
Okay, I take it back. You can take the warmers off instead.
I can do that.
All right. Yeah.
Wait. Are we talking about being your umbrella boy?
Yeah, I just invited Dennis to be my umbrella boy.
What the fuck?
Kevin is prettier than me. Kevin is way prettier than me with a stash, so it should be him.
Well, but why do I want a pretty umbrella boy? He's gonna make me look bad.
Can't believe you're not inviting me. That's fucked up.
Okay. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Wait, what Tom Cruise movie was that?
Tropic Thunder.
This last one was this.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
he was Len something Grossman.
Oh, that's right. The freaking
Yeah, the fat
white
suit.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
Awesome.
I don't know
Alright.
what kind of bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head down there, and I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're going to have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you.
All right,
You know what's gonna happen is YouTube is gonna block this video because of copyright issues, Kevin. Thank you very much.
we've devolved far enough. We might have to edit that out.
I'm using it for entertainment purposes.
It's working quite well for us, but I don't know if everyone else has the same sense of humor we do.
No,
I think we have to
what?
slow down the voice so it doesn't sound like Tom Cruise or something.
That can be done. That can be done. All right, we got World Superbike at Portimao, and Kevin probably won't watch it. And then a week later, we have GP at Catalunya, and hopefully
I will watch that.
Kevin will definitely watch that. Hopefully, both races will be so exciting that we'll be able to give you an episode every week and put them out real quick, and maybe we'll even include a slideshow. Who knows? But all right, you guys got anything else to add?
I'm not.
No, because now apparently I'm being censored.
Oh my God. Oh, you take it so personally. It's awesome. All right.
You know, the biggest guy between the three of us is like the bitchiest one. What's up with that?
What? I'm gonna hold that against you next time I see you.
See? Like I said, bitchy.
He's gonna like it if you hold it against him.
Right.
Yeah, there we go. Had to jump in with that. All right. On that note, we're not going to get this episode blocked on YouTube, and I think we're good. Thanks for listening, everyone, and hopefully we'll get you to listen again soon.
The almighty Bangolio!
Perfect.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.